Now on 13 News this morning, 9 people, including 7 children, lost their lives in a fire at this house earlier this year. Now neighbors are wondering why it's still standing. And the Hatfield-McCoy feud happened practically in our backyard, but it was shot half a world away. We got your take on the relocation of this popular series.
And we're looking at the possibility of some strong storms across the area. They've got some rocking and rolling right now through the region. We'll show you those and so much more as the news starts right now.
This is WOWK, now in high definition. 13 News This Morning begins now.
It's Friday, June 1st, 2012. Good morning. I'm Jack Kane in Charleston. Great to have you with us on this Friday morning. A rainy one indeed, and meteorologist Bryan Hughes has a look at your first forecast right now. Good morning, Bryan.
Well, good morning to you, Jack. We've seen some showers and thunderstorms rolling through the area. Some of the strongest ones have been across parts of eastern Kentucky early this morning. Take a look at Storm Tracker 13 live Doppler radar, and you can see some of those showers continuing from Clarksburg back down to Spencer along 79, just north of there as well, down to Charleston, Logan, down to Pikeville. Some of the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity is across parts of southeast Ohio, around the Athens area, back down towards Mason, just to the north side of there, Point Pleasant, Gallipolis. We'll put this into motion. You can see all these showers are developing now and moving off to the northeast, with some of the strongest storms here to the northwest of Mason. That's where we've been looking at some possibility of some pea to marble size hail at best, with some of the little ice crystals developing in the atmosphere. Also, other showers and thunderstorms are back down here to the south. Well, we'll get down here eventually. There you go, across Greenup, Ironton, Ashland. That's where some of the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity is occurring. We've also had some lightning strikes involved in this. And moving across Grayson, that's where we had some of the heaviest rainfall this morning. It's going to move through Ironton, Raceland, Ashland as well. Other showers that are moving through Barbersville, around the mall there, of course, moving through Wayne, and on the south side of Huntington, some of the shower and thunderstorm activity going across the Marshall University campus. We'll continue to watch these showers and thunderstorms as we continue through the rest of this morning. This will be the first round of showers we'll see. There'll be a secondary line that'll develop about mid-morning into late morning hours with the cold front. That's the one that will have the very gusty winds with it. We'll talk about that and so much more in the next few minutes. Jack?
All right, thanks, Bryan. In the news, officials in Wayne County have been on the scene of a fatal shooting near Dunlow. Deputies have not released details as to how or why that shooting occurred. The call of a home break-in came in just after 9 last night. Authorities arrived to find one person dead. Officials have yet to release any information about a suspect. Stay with 13 News and WOWKTV.com for the latest on this story. 2 deadly accidents on the interstate yesterday, and investigators are now looking for answers. One accident happened around 1 Thursday afternoon on I-77 near the Malden exit. The Division of Highways says a construction worker was killed when a state vehicle driven by a work release crew member backed over him. The man was taken to the hospital with severe head injuries and didn't survive. The DOH says the crew member was cleared to operate the vehicle.
There are agreements in place, though, that allow them to work and operate some of our equipment, and so we're still trying to ascertain and recreate that story.
That accident occurred just a few minutes after a horrific crash on I-77 near Sissonville. Investigators say a maroon car swerved across the median and hit a FedEx tractor trailer head-on. Deputies believe both vehicles were traveling at a high rate of speed, and as you can see, there is not much left of the car. The driver of the car died at the scene, and the driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say they're trying to figure out how this one happened.
The only thing that would be unusual is the unexplained cause. We have several witnesses that saw firsthand what happened, and they can't explain why the passenger vehicle suddenly left the roadway. They didn't see the vehicle trying to avoid an animal or an object. I-77 near Sissonville was closed down for hours after that accident.
Tough times for nearly 5 dozen workers at one of the area's largest hospitals. King's Daughters Medical Center in Ashland says it was forced to lay off the employees because of government cuts to health care programs and because people can't afford to spend as much on health care as before. The union says KDMC laid off 69 employees who work in medical records, food service, laundry, and maintenance. We're also told some registered nurses, LPNs, and EMTs were let go. The layoffs take effect June 7th, but the workers affected were already escorted out of the building and told to go home. Family and friends gathered to remember a family brutally murdered in Nicholas County. A candlelight vigil was held in Raynell to honor the life of Stephen Hendricks, his girlfriend Amber Martin, and his children, 6-year-old Dakota and 4-year-old Kaylee. The family was murdered last weekend, and a man named James Belknap has been arrested. Hendricks' oldest daughter tried to hold back tears as she spoke about her father.
I just want everybody to know that my dad did the best he could for his family, and he did everything right to raise his kids.
Hendricks says she was overwhelmed with the love and support shown at the candlelight service. Well, it was a place where kids used to play, and now some say it's a place that constantly reminds them of tragedy. We're talking about the house where 7 kids and 2 adults lost their lives after a fire in late March here in Charleston. The house still stands today, and neighbors are saying they want the house torn down.
I mean, it's a constant reminder to this community of how a family had lost their lives there.
It's very depressing. It just really saddens me and the neighborhood.
Neighbors also say they're worried about infestation and people going inside the home. A city building official told us the owner has to make sure everything is clear with their insurance and the fire investigation before it is torn down. That official also says it's his understanding the owner intends to have the property demolished. No one was hurt, but plenty of concern after a small chemical leak in eastern Kentucky. That leak happened around 6 last night at the CSX rail yard in Russell. Firefighters say about 15 gallons of toluene leaked from a rail car, and crews were called in to clean it up. The problem was quickly corrected, and no shelter-in-place order was issued. More money is headed to West Virginia as part of a settlement against tobacco manufacturers. The Tobacco Settlement Finance Authority says this year's contribution as of April 30th had reached nearly $64 million compared to just over $62 million last year. The money is part of a class action lawsuit filed by dozens of state attorneys general, which held tobacco companies responsible for numerous health problems. The settlement increased as the number of people who smoked declined last year. One of the most popular cable miniseries in history has come to an end, and it's brought plenty of attention to our area. Hatfields and McCoys wrapped up its 3-day run, outlining the famous feud that took place along the border of southern West Virginia and southeastern Kentucky. Tourism leaders from both states are trying to cash in, encouraging people to go to the area around Tug Fork to see where the fights actually happened. And if you were a fan of the series, you won't have to wait long to see it again. Amazon is already taking orders for the DVD set. 6:08 now. A check of your Storm Tracker 13 forecast is coming up, and a startling statistic about the future number of predicted cancer cases. That and more straight ahead in your Health Watch. Now in high definition, this is 13 News This Morning.
This is 13 News This Morning on WOWK. Now in high definition with Jack Kane. Storm Tracker 13 weather with meteorologist Bryan Hughes. Now, here's your Storm Tracker 13 weather.
Well, we've been watching showers and thunderstorms roll through most of the region this morning. Some of the strongest storms are now crossing from parts of northeastern Kentucky into south central Ohio. Take a look at Storm Tracker 13 live Doppler radar. We'll put this into motion over the past 20 minutes, and there you can see the showers and thunderstorms all moving to the northeast, with some showers from Clarksburg to Spencer to Charleston, back down to Logan. Other showers and thunderstorms near Barbersville, and some showers moving into the Huntington area right now. But as you can see, some of the strongest storms are going to be right here. Ironton, Ashland, Greenup. That's where we've seen actually just a little bit of indications of some hail moving across the area. Matter of fact, I'm going to switch over to a product where we can see some of the hail. And just there you see one little blip. and that would just indicate that there might be just some heavier rain with maybe a little pea-sized hail moving across the area. I know it's kind of hard to see that there, but still, that's something we've been watching this morning. Some of the heaviest rainfalls occurring there, along with some lightning bolts as well, moving off to the northeast. Other showers and thunderstorms continue. Gallipolis, Rio Grande, also back up towards Athens, north of Mason. That's where we've had some of the shower and thunderstorm activity developing right just north of the Ohio River. We're going to continue to watch this for this morning, but this is not the main fireworks show from Mother Nature. We think that is going to happen a little bit later as we go into the morning, mid to late morning hours, because we have a cold front that's back to our west across parts of central Kentucky, Cincinnati essentially, and back to the south and southwest. And that's where we'll watch for those showers and thunderstorms. So you can see the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity moving into Lawrence County of Ohio right now. Here's a look at temperatures. 63 in Point Pleasant, 64 in Hurricane, Charleston, Hamlin checks in at 64, so does Spencer and Parkersburg. We've got 61 in Portsmouth and 66 degrees in Sutton, and the warmest spot in the state at the moment is at 69 degrees, and that's going to be in Elkins. There's a look at the shower and thunderstorm activity that continues to move across the area. When you look at what's happening across the entire region, it's back here to our west. That's where the area of low pressure is across parts of southwestern Ohio and also just right along the Indiana border. That cold front is going to help develop some more shower and thunderstorm activity as we go into the mid-morning and late morning hours. And it's there that we'll see some very gusty winds with some of the thunderstorms rolling through. Maybe some small hail across the area, and our tornado threat is dramatically lower than it was in the past couple of days. As you can see, this is noontime. Showers and thunderstorms continue to roll through the area. The better threat for severe weather, Mother Nature changes all the time, is now shifting on off to the east. So it's essentially back here across the mountains and on off to the east towards the coastline. So that's where we'll expect some of the heavy shower and thunderstorm activity. Our forecast for today will shape up with 73. Strong storms move through, and it will be breezy. Winds will be out of the west 10 to 20, gusts to 25 miles an hour. But around some of those showers and thunderstorms, we could see some gusts of 30 miles an hour, possibly up to 70 with some of the strongest thunderstorms if those strong thunderstorms do develop. And here we go with 71 for your Saturday and some of those showers. As we get into your Sunday and into Monday, we'll see some drying across the area, and 78 with showers for your Tuesday, and we'll warm up Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
All right, so the weekend is going to shape up to be fairly decent.
Yeah, it's fairly decent because it's going to be cooler, and we'll have some spotty showers on Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks to be drying up, 76, which is just about 3 degrees below normal, because now our normal high this time of year is 79.
All right, so it should be pleasant, at least on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Now, time for your Health Watch on this Friday morning. British researchers predict cancer cases will increase 75% by the year 2030. Cancer is already the leading cause of death in many high-income countries. Scientists believe poorer areas will see a dramatic increase in cancer as more people adopt westernized lifestyles. Experts say higher levels of obesity and poor diet will help fuel the rise in cancer. More evidence links a common diabetes drug to bladder cancer. Canadian researchers say people who took the drug pioglitazone had an 83% higher risk of developing the disease, although doctors stress overall risk is low. The results support previous findings, and the FDA has already warned patients about the risk of bladder cancer. A new study finds dark chocolate can even help people already at risk for heart problems. Australian researchers followed at-risk patients who ate dark chocolate on a regular basis and found it lowered the risk of heart attack and stroke. The authors say doctors may want to consider encouraging their patients to eat a little dark chocolate daily because it can help lower blood pressure and cholesterol. And that's a check of your Health Watch report on 13 News this morning. 6:15, almost 6:16, and still to come, a check of your Money Watch headlines. Plus, business leaders turned out in force to help bring some new surgical technologies to the area. You're watching 13 News this morning, now in high definition.